Hi, I'm Lisa Bradshaw, host of Pitch Playbook, Brand Visibility Beyond Social Media. I've been a radio and television producer and host for a combined 17 years, so I know a lot about creating show content. But what I didn't know enough about is how to produce a podcast I could market without constantly posting on social media. That's what I was looking for. So after hearing Adam guest on a podcast, then binging his podcast, it was a no-brainer to hire him. His guidance is direct, his advice is solid, and the outcome is exactly what I was looking for. He definitely knows his stuff with so many ideas about podcast content and promotion. Oh, and his newsletter is gold, so grab that right away if you haven't already. Big shout out to you and thank you, Adam, for helping me add podcast host to my own visibility strategy.
Hey there, Pod Pals. Do you feel like you could use a little bit of help with your podcast launch, growth, or with converting your podcast listeners into becoming your best clients? I want you to head on over to my website, www.podcastingbusiness.school, and watch the 4-minute video that talks about who I help and exactly how I can help them out. Next, I want you to click on the Discovery Call button to set up a free podcast profit potential discovery call where we can talk about working together to help you reach your podcasting and online business goals. Head on over to my website, www.podcastingbusiness.school, and get signed up for your free podcast profit potential discovery call. What's up, Pod Pals? It's your buddy Adam, and you are listening to Podcasting Business School. It's a show where I teach podcasters simple strategies to help you make more money, get more clients, and build a profitable online business. It's my birthday today, Pod Pals, 45 years young. Your buddy Adam, August 26, 1980 is when I was born. Shout out to my parents for making that happen. And today we are talking about a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. I've been building some notes on this, building my case, if you will, putting my lawyer hat on. We're talking about, is it time to change your social media strategy? Is it time to rethink what we've all been doing for the last several years, even before AI? When I first got into podcasting in 2015, there wasn't a whole lot of marketing strategy. You put an episode out and we posted on Facebook, but then it was like, you can't, do a direct link on the main post. You got to post in the first comment. And that was kind of like the main thing. Post an image, new show, new episode, whatever. Post it, and then the first comment, you go, hey, here's the link. Here's what a podcast is, and here's how you go find it. Now things have changed a lot. And what's been prevalent over the last 5-6 years, especially, is this be everywhere strategy, where I would kind of define that as create one piece of content and repurpose it everywhere that you can. You guys know what I'm talking about. So you record an episode, or you got video asset, and you make reels out of it and TikTok videos and LinkedIn posts and all this stuff. And a lot of it is create 1 or 2 assets and just post them everywhere. And I think that this has created an issue. And I think it's actually holding a lot of us back from a audience growth perspective. And I think it's causing a lot of podcasters to actually burn out and quit. So let's unpack why I think this isn't a good idea anymore. All right. One thing is that a lot of content creators are using scheduling tools and repurposing tools for this. And one thing that I think we can all agree on, and if you all are like social media platform experts out there, and if this isn't right, please call me out on it. But I think we can all agree that if somebody is using a non-native social media scheduling tool and you use that to post everywhere in social media, the individual platforms do not like this, and your views are way lower. For example, I record a lot of content on StreamYard. I could live stream on a lot of different places all at once, and like LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. But those live streams will get minimal engagement because it's non-native. I'm on a repurposing platform and it is distributing it out amongst all the platforms. And if I were to go live on LinkedIn or on YouTube specifically, or on Facebook, that live stream will get much more engagement when it's a native live. Fun fact, y'all, I actually just remember this. I haven't talked about this in a long time. This is a fun little Adam story. I've always been a hustler. I've always been trying to hack the system. I realized this early on, where you want to be live because even early on when live streaming first started, I was on it and I was just throwing my phone in front of my face, doing live streams. And these repurposing apps started popping up. Hey, go live here and we'll redistribute it everywhere. And I really noticed like, oh, my engagement really sucks. Nobody's seeing these videos. So at this time, I owned a fitness facility and I actually hit up my gym members and I credited them gym membership for their old iPhones, like the iPhone that they weren't using anymore. I'm like, bring it in. I need like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these. I don't think I needed 10. I think I needed like 5 or 6. And I'm getting like the old crack screen, like ran over with my car, smushed. And I'm giving them membership and giving them time at my fitness facility for these old crappy iPhones because each one of those I saw it as a computer. So I would do my Tuesday night live stream. And with each device, I would sign in on a different social media platform and go live natively. I had this like piece of plywood and I would duct tape the phones. I had 5 different phones, 5 or 6, I can't remember. And I would go live natively on Instagram. I had several Facebook groups at that time. I would go live individually on Facebook groups, LinkedIn, wherever, YouTube. And I would go live across as many platforms as I could with as many phones as I had natively. So I'm literally staring at 5 phones that are duct taped to this plywood on my desk. I think I've got them like sitting on some Olympic weightlifting bumper plates to get them eye level. And it is the most like rigged up thing you've ever seen in your life. But I'd be looking at one phone. Hey, hello to Instagram. Hey, hello to YouTube. Hey, hello to Facebook, Facebook group 1, Facebook group 2. And it really worked a lot better as like rigged up as that sounds with duct tape and plywood. But that's when I first noticed early on, like, okay, this is, the repurposing tools are super convenient and trendy and whatever. And everybody's, oh, just do this, create it once. It goes everywhere. But the purpose, Pod Pals, is people seeing it, listening to it, engaging with it. And if that isn't happening, F this repurposing deal. Like it doesn't make any sense. All right. So if you're using outside of app scheduling tools, that's one of the reasons why this be everywhere strategy isn't working for you. Another reason why this isn't working anymore is that the content that we are repurposing or trying to repurpose does not speak the native language of every platform. Example, I see this every day on Threads. People are doing this. Oh, I create clips of my podcast video. It's the talking head videos that we all see, whether it's a solo episode or a guest or whatever. It's a little clip with a video, vertical video. And they're using it for TikTok and IG Reels. Like, oh, I'll just throw it on Threads. Threads doesn't like images. It doesn't like video. You'll get your engagement will tank if you post that type of stuff on Threads. It doesn't speak the native language. Threads is a text-based platform, period. Don't post videos. Don't post images. Just don't do it. And that's an example of this strategy of being everywhere. Just throw it everywhere. It doesn't speak the native language and you're tanking your engagement and you're probably hurting your algorithm, whatever, on that platform. All right. The next reason why this isn't working is everybody's content freaking looks the same. I just said it. Talking head, snappy little clips with some B-roll in the background. It all looks the same. It doesn't stand out. People will just scroll on by. Oh, it's another podcaster talking on a video. Here we go. People just scroll on by. One more reason why this isn't working is it actually leads to negative thoughts and burnout and quitting based off of lack of engagement, because the promise is be everywhere, grow everywhere. You're going to, reach the masses by being everywhere. And when you're seeing freaking crickets everywhere for one of these reasons I've listed above or for something else, we get in our head about it. And all of a sudden it becomes very cumbersome. And it's like, oh, man, this is a lot of effort to even just create this content. Nobody's seeing it. Nobody's engaging. There's no growth happening. And people quit because of the lack of engagement from this content that is everywhere, but is essentially nowhere at the same time, because nobody is engaging. Nobody's listening. And no new people are coming into our world via this content. So those are the problems I think are happening with this strategy, this be everywhere strategy. Here's what I propose instead. And some of you are not going to like this, but we will unpack this. And just one of those things where I'm asking you to do put on your experimental content creator hat and just be willing to do a 30-day experiment with me. All right. So here's what I propose. Show up on a select few or even one platform and create unique content just for that platform. Find a focused platform to test and create content that is just for that platform. You will not repurpose that anywhere else. All right. So here's the strategy. Step number one, pick a platform to test with unique content. Step number two of this strategy is understand the type of content that works on this platform. And then step number three of the strategy is create content that is specifically and only for this platform and won't be used anywhere else. All right, so let's go through a couple of examples of what I'm doing. My number one social media platform is Threads. I'll explain why here in a second. I mean, it's saying something that I've got. I mean, it's not a huge following, but I've got 3,100, 3,200 followers on Instagram. And it's like, I almost don't even want to post anything. I hardly ever post a grid anything on Instagram because nobody sees it. I post Instagram stories that like 12 people see. All right. So Threads is my main platform. And it's my largest following now. That's kind of like a chicken and egg thing there. So with Threads, let's go through the 3 steps. So the platform that I'm focusing on is Threads. So what type of content works on Threads? Text. I already went through this. All right. So it's very specific. And then creating content that's specifically for this platform won't be used anywhere else. So I create stuff on Threads. I'll go through the example of what I'm creating on Threads here in a second. But I only use it on Threads. I tried repurposing it to carousel posts on LinkedIn. And every once in a while, I'll, take a long form super thread and throw it on LinkedIn. But I mean, nobody sees it. You guys aren't engaging with me over there. But on Threads, I'm seeing a lot of signs of life. And so anyway, here's the strategy, my unique strategy for unique content on Threads. In the AM, every AM at 6 a.m., in fact, I post a text-based clip of just motivation for content creators. I shouldn't say clip. It's not a video. I put up a text-based post with motivation for content creators. Every 6 a.m., every day, you're getting it. Now, I pre-schedule these, but I schedule them within the app. I do not use a non-native scheduling tool. So, for example, every Tuesday, I sit down and I create 14 Threads posts. I sit down and I write them on Tuesday morning. It's a 6 a.m. and a 6 p.m. for the next 7 days. And I create them, I write them, and I schedule them on Tuesday morning. I already did this today. It's awesome. One of my favorite things to do. There's a clue. I had a lot of fun doing that. If you asked me to create 14 Instagram Reels, I'd still be going and I would just be pissed. I'd be in a bad mood. I would not be having fun. So every morning, 6 a.m., text-based post, because that is the native language of Threads. And I deliver some motivation for content creators. Midday, another text-based, what I call a long-form super thread. So a multi-post super thread to unpack a longer strategy for podcast launch, growth, and listener client conversion. Somewhere midday, I do these each day. I don't schedule these. And I unpack a longer strategy. It's a little bit more of a deep dive. A lot of those are repurposed from my newsletters. Spoiler alert, got a little content flywheel going there. I've got a few episodes back where I unpacked that one. Then at 6 p.m., another one of my pre-scheduled posts is going to be a text-based post, just a quick tip for content creators. It could be like a little online business thing. It could be client acquisition. It could be, just podcast content, listener client conversion, whatever. So that is the native language I'm speaking on Threads, and it's just for Threads. I'm not taking that and going, hey, let's make this a TikTok video, and hey, let's make this blah, blah, blah. I'm showing up uniquely, and people know if this is like, wow, I would love to get 3 text-based tips, 2 of them really quick, and one of them a little bit of a longer deep dive. If that's like, wow, that sounds awesome, I would love content like that, then follow me on Threads, Podcasting Business School. You'll get it every single day, 3 times a day, every day. Sometimes a little idea pops in my head, I'll post 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. But it's all that type of content. Native, speaking that native language of text, which I love. All right, another example. I'm actually doing an experiment right now on YouTube. I know, shocker. hashtag mind blown. Adam is the I don't do video guy. But I wanted to explore this idea because I've got a bigger idea of premium content that I'm exploring. That's more of a 2026, 2027 idea. So I'm leveraging the YouTube platform because that's the native language of YouTube, video. Now, is my RSS feed for my audio podcast connected to YouTube? Yes, it is. I'm in that YouTube podcast algorithm just via my audio podcast. This audio podcast will show up on YouTube. Some of you are listening on YouTube right now. Holla, shout out. Thanks, YouTube listeners. But the main language of YouTube is video. All right. So I'm doing an experiment over there where I'm testing out a 10-minute or less video post where I do what I call a podcast growth audit. Now, obviously, I do audit episodes here where I invite one of you all onto the show, or I have a client on the show and we kind of do a coaching session. The YouTube content I'm experimenting with is different. I'm actually taking people from my newsletter and asking them to fill out a form, and I'm selecting people from that form, and I am auditing their show for growth potential. And I'm creating a video on YouTube where I pull up their show on the screen without them there, and I just unpack it all. I'm like, hey, with your name, I would suggest these keywords. Let's do this with your host description. Let's blah, 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 blah. I go through the entire podcast growth audit, 10 minutes or less. I really want to try to get to 5 minutes or less, but that is hard to do. But I also want to be editing this in 10 minutes or less. So that's another stipulation that I've put in there for myself. And I'm committed to a 20 video experiment. So obviously the first one did like 40 views. I'm like, that sucked. I posted another one yesterday, and I think it's up to like 12 views already. So we are not off to a screaming hot start. But I'm, testing, tweaking, doing different thumbnails, just learning. All right. This is how you have to be with this type of a social media strategy is we kind of get that anchor platform. For me, that's Threads. That's like, this is working and it keeps working every single day. Do not stop. Now I've got that flywheel in place. I've got a little extra time. Okay, I'm going to do this YouTube experiment, not only to just test that platform, but just to test if you all want to consume this type of content or not from me. And if it helps me pick up a few new audience members via the YouTube search bar. So so I'm doing a 20 video experiment over there. And so that's if you guys are interested in checking those out, I'll link it in the show notes so you can check that out and check out a few growth audits over there. If you're not on my newsletter list, get on the newsletter. That's how you get a growth audit. Anyway, so that is an example of I'm just going to put that on YouTube. I'm not going to repurpose that to TikTok. I'm not going to repurpose it to blah, 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 blah. Just YouTube. That's it. Unique. If you're on YouTube, if you like consuming YouTube content, that content is for you. All right. So let's talk about something to be aware of. It is called FOMO, F-O-M-O, and you will feel it, fear of missing out. If you have been the I Post Everywhere person and you try this little mini experiment of posting unique content on a selective platform, you will start to feel, but what if there's one person on LinkedIn I could have got by sharing this post, and this is going to pop up. All right. So I want you to keep a goal in mind. We are ready for the FOMO. I want you to keep this specific goal in mind. This will help you. We need to find just one social media platform that feels ELF, easy, lucrative, and fun. You don't need to be everywhere. I give you permission, Pod Pals, to not be everywhere. All right. I think this is an unsuccessful strategy right now. Be unique, be selective, and be targeted with your time and your creativity and your effort. All right. Find one social media platform. That's all we really need. That feels ELF, easy, lucrative, and fun. So here's some signs that we found a social media platform that works. All right. With this content strategy. Number one, we're seeing steady audience growth. Like you're seeing people come into your world on this platform. Every day, I check that little heart thing on Threads and I see, so-and-so followed you from this post. 3 more people followed you from this post. It's growing every single day. All right. Number two, you should feel like you're actually enjoying creating the content. I told you I just wrote 14 posts for Threads and it was like super easy. Took me less than an hour. Loved it. I'm good for 7 days. Bam. Number three, we have an efficient content creation routine. It doesn't feel like a freaking slog. Like, oh God, I got to go do my hair again to do this stupid dancing video. All right, you should feel like recess, not detention when it's time to create content. All right. Next sign we're looking for. People find us on this platform and become podcast listeners. I see this every day on Threads. And again, this isn't a promotion like, hey, you have to be on Threads. I want to be clear with that. You find your platform. Some of you it's LinkedIn, some of you it's YouTube, some of you it's Pinterest, some of you it's Facebook, some of you it's Instagram, Snapchat, MySpace, whatever else is out there, the new thing. All right. So I'm not saying must be on Threads. I want to be very clear about that. For me, it's Threads. All right. But every day I see people, I'll comment on somebody's post and like, oh my God, thanks for commenting. I loved your latest podcast episode. Every day this is happening. All right. Next thing, people are finding us on this platform and they're becoming email list subscribers. Same thing happens as the podcast. I have people going, oh, this last newsletter was great. I love your newsletters. I hear it every day. It's awesome. Last thing, people find us on this platform and become clients. That's the L, ELF, easy, lucrative, and fun. People are transitioning from finding us, that discovery mechanism on the platform, our expert positioning, and our content does its thing. We walk them down the path where they're ready to hand over that credit card, invest in you as a coach and in your programs. All right. So they're finding us on the platform. They're becoming listeners of the show. They're email list subscribers, and they're becoming clients. All these things should be happening when you find this one platform. Why in the hell do you need to be on 12 platforms if you can find one platform and experience all of this? This is what you have to keep in mind when the FOMO comes up. Like, oh, my TikTok and but my this and that. Like, or you hear me talking about Threads and Threads isn't your platform. Like, don't FOMO into doing Threads. If you're seeing if you're checking all these boxes, steady audience growth, enjoy creating the content, efficient content creation routine, new podcast listeners, new email list subscribers, new clients. If you're checking all those boxes or most of those boxes, stay the hell where you are and just double down. Get rid of all the other trash that is just wasting your time and depleting your energy and focus on one platform. Be unique. Speak that language. Post natively. And by doubling down your efforts and your focus, your results will multiply as well, right? So that is my case, Pod Pals. 21 minutes of an episode here. A little shorter, a little on the shorter side, honestly, for my latest solo episodes. I've been really getting wordy over here. So again, less but better. That's the theme that we've had all 2025, and it is working well for me. It's working well for a lot of you. I will keep talking you out of doing more. Sometimes that's the greatest service I can provide my clients. Talk them out of doing too much, getting rid of the garbage. You know, I'm the neighbor that comes over and cleans out your garage for you and says, now look at this. We can park 2 cars in here and have an extra refrigerator. Look at that. Look at that. You don't have to have all your cars out in the street. You can park them in your garage now. We're getting rid of the garbage and the stuff that's depleting your energy and causing you to be frustrated. All right. The thing I hear every single day from all of you, social media, so frustrating, drives me crazy. Puked in my mouth a little bit last time I posted on LinkedIn. I hear this. Maybe that's me saying that. I don't know. But I hear it all the time. So this is an honest solution. View it as an experiment. You can always go back to posting everywhere. You can always go back to the be everywhere. But what if this works? What if you find one platform? You can check all those boxes and all the right things are happening and you love being there and you love creating. You're engaging with the right people. ELF, easy, lucrative, and fun. What if, Pod Pals? That's all I got for you today. I've got some hot ticket episodes coming up and really excited about it. A lot of great things happening in the ecosystem of podcasting business school. Hopefully you guys are as excited as I am. And with that, Pod Pals, I'm going to send you out into the world wishing you health, happiness, and many downloads. I will see you on the next episode. If you need a little bit of help with your podcast launch, growth, or monetization strategy, Head on over to my website, www.podcastingbusiness.school, and get signed up for a free podcast profit potential discovery call. During this free 20-minute discovery call session, I'm going to analyze your podcasting brand and tell you where I think you're missing on an opportunity for profits. Next, I'm going to tell you exactly what I suggest that you do as your next step. If I've got an offer that would help you accelerate the process, we can discuss working together as well. So head on over to my website, www.podcastingbusiness.school, and click on the Discovery Call button to schedule your free Podcast Profit Potential Discovery Call.